I was very pleased at the action of the Court of Criminal Appeals, and we talked about it at length. I spent 20 or 30 minutes with him, and we discussed the court decision. I explained it to him, the effect of it, and the various possibilities of what the future holds for him. And he was very pleased about the action of the court.
Would you be amenable to a compromise for a moderate term of years?
I think that, as I have contended from the very beginning, that this is at most a murder without malice case. I argued that to the original jury. I think that the court's action today in striking Sergeant Dean's testimony goes a long way in showing that they felt the same way. And I think that if this is the situation, and after a review of all of the available evidence that this is what it is, then I would give it very, very serious consideration.
On the opinion, which we likely will do after reading it.
The defense attorneys have indicated they might be willing to compromise for something like murder without malice in 5 years. How would you feel about that, sir?
Well, we don't think that that is sufficient punishment, 5 years at all. We are not interested in that.
Did you expect a reversal?
No. I knew they was going to rule on it today. I didn't know what they was going to rule.
Ms. Wade, can you really visualize a full-scale trial such as was had before in this case?
I hate to think about another 6 or 8 weeks like the last trial, but it will take some time undoubtedly to try it. I have an idea it'll be tried in less time than it was before, though.
And now all Jack needs is some smart law school student or graduate from law school to handle his business from here on in. He doesn't need 10 lawyers from California, New York, Michigan, Illinois, or Texas to represent him, because the case is now, as I said, reduced to murder without malice charge, and in all probability, 2 to 5 years will be the maximum penalty on another trial.
You think he'd be amenable to pleading guilty for a short term under murder without malice charge?
I don't know what he'd do, but as I say, 2 to 5, as it indicates to me, is the maximum available. And what he ought to do is take such a plea, get his credit for the time in jail, and then go to a veterans hospital and get treatment for the condition that he needs. He needs treatment badly, and he ought to go get this treatment and stay there until he's cured.
I told Ruby and the family that we'd get it for him in the appellate court. But having once been in, we had to stay on and protect the record on it. There were a lot of technical procedures in perfecting the record on the change of venue, but I think the evidence that we had in there was completely sound, and everything I said wasn't against Dallas. I thought it was for Dallas, that the city should never have been imposed to try this case, because it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to try their own guilt, and they didn't have any guilt. But I think a tragedy like this with a deranged mind, and I think Oswald was deranged, I think Ruby was deranged, these tragedies can, unforgivably, in the nature of events, happen any place. And I think, too, the news coverage of Oswald and of Ruby, and this might seem strange coming from me, but was completely called for. I think that Hank Wade and the district attorney, and I think that the police officers were obligated and had a duty to tell, because the right of the Republic to know was superior to the right of the individual to be protected and have a fair trial. There are very, very few cases in which I would say that, or in which that statement could be justified. This was one, and God forbid that we'd ever have another one.